Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi, Alison.
Hello, everyone.
I was going to say morning. I wish I could say it was morning from sunny Scotland, but it's absolutely down with rain.
How are you, Emma?
I'm good, thank you, Walid. How are you?
Very good. Good to see you both again.
Absolutely. I was just about to say that. Good to see you guys too.
Thank you.
So we have with us 15 attendees. We're ready whenever you are.
Okay, so we had a few more than that, so we'll maybe just give it another couple of minutes if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Maybe just give it a couple of moments for people to get logged on, and then I can kick us off. So yeah, that's good.
Sorry, who's going to do the introduction? Alison or? Okay.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'll just give it another minute or so until people come in, and then I'll just do a very short welcome, and then I will hand over to you guys to give us the presentation, and then I know we've got time for questions at the end. So yeah, we'll just give it 1 or 2 minutes more, I think, and then we can begin. It's not so important if people miss me doing the preamble, is it? It's much more useful that they get the time to sign in and hear your presentations. Okay, I think we can probably start, can't we? And do our welcome. So this is a brilliant test of using technology to do exactly the kind of thing that the Chamber of Commerce and Dubai FDI and Dubai Advantage are so keen on, is building international connections. And it's just brilliant that Dundee, on behalf of Scotland, has this connection with Dubai and the wider UAE. There are so many similarities, although there's a bit of David and Goliath in terms of size, but I'm always struck when we do our international work that the sectors that are really driving our economy here in Scotland are the sectors that are driving every economy in every part of the world. And for me, the beauty of that is, where are those connections that we can build relationships through that help drive our respective economies, that help businesses look at working together and understand the advantages that there are in these different parts of the world. So it's brilliant. For those of you that don't know me, although I think I do know most people that were due to be registered and be on our session today, I'm Alison Henderson. I'm the CEO at Dundee Angus Chamber of Commerce, and we're part of the Scottish Chamber of Commerce network, and we work really closely with the Scottish Government and Scottish Development International just to make sure that Scottish companies are getting the opportunities to learn from different parts of the world, build those economic partnerships and relationships, and really see what we can do to learn from others, but also work together. And we had the huge honour of hosting Dubai FDI and a significant number of partners who came to Scotland and the UK in June. And we took lots of our local businesses to Edinburgh. We met with Edinburgh companies, and all of those businesses got the chance to meet the partners from Dubai. What's amazing, though, is that there are, this is the kind of thing that then comes out of an event like that, where we do continue the conversations. We use technology to get together, and this will be the next in a series of conversations, I'm sure. But don't miss out on the other opportunities that come up. So we did have the opportunity through Luma and her colleagues to give Scottish businesses the chance to pitch for competitions. And I'm sure this is probably going to come up, but if it doesn't, I would just say that, you know, we had the chance to send a Dundee company to pitch a really amazing event in Dubai. And so these are the types of business opportunities that we want to be able to bring to businesses. So creativity and culture and those sectors are hugely important for Scotland. They're massively important for Dubai, and that's what we're going to hear about today. So I'm going to get out of the way and hand over to Luma and Wally, who are going to talk about what Dubai Advantage does bring. And then, you know, the next thing is we need to get on and start looking at flights so that we can get out and actually see you and come and see some of these opportunities. So I will get myself on mute, get out of the way, and hand over to Luma and Walid, who are going to talk to us, and then there'll be time at the end for questions. So thanks to you both for taking the time to come on the webinar, and I'm looking forward to hearing your story again.
Thank you very much, Luma. It's really a great pleasure to reconnect with you again and working and having a successful another, this time a webinar. As you mentioned, we had a successful event last June in Scotland. Thank you very much. Good morning, Scotland, and good afternoon to my colleagues here in Dubai. My name is Walid Marhoun, a senior manager at Dubai FDI. Today's webinar will go through a small journey to take you alongside my colleague from Dubai Culture, Ms. Luma. We'll showcase Dubai as a business hub for companies and for the investor in different sectors. I will start in the beginning as Dubai, as a city. Dubai has a diversity economy, and with a total GDP of contribution in 2021, the main contributions goes as shows on the screen to wholesale and retail trade, as Dubai is well known at the beginning of the start of the city is a hub for all kinds of the logistics, starting from Dubai Creek, and has been developed and expanded to all over the city. A second sector is transportation and storage. We're talking on the transportation on the next coming slide, how a strong and modern infrastructure that Dubai has, and then followed by real estate, financial and insurance. And of course, some people will consider oil It's part of Dubai GDP. It's only contribute 2% of the total GDP of the city. Next slide, please. Tourism and hospitality. Dubai is a tourist hub for all over the world, and we were ranked as the #1 top destination for the tourists and visitors. In 2020, we were aiming to reach 20 million visitors, but due to COVID-19, which affected all over the world, Dubai was one of the first cities all over the world who opened the border for all the countries with no exceptions, but following the protocol of coronavirus. We've been able to reach, sorry, Luma, can you go back, please? We've been able to reach from July 2020 till the end of the year of 2020 to 5.51 million. And we've reached on the first quarter of 2022, 7.12 million visitors. Next slide. Next. Talking about the location of Dubai, Dubai has a very unique and strategic location where it's connected west with the east. Take an example, flying from the Asian side to the Europe side is equal on the timing, 7 hours from the both side. And it's became a hub for the international companies who has chosen Dubai based for their company to close a deal. As we have so many international companies, they have relation with the neighbor countries. Take an example, there is a 6 flight on a daily basis from Dubai to India, where people here can close the deal within the same days and go back to their countries. And it's given you the access also of the strategic location to 2.4 billion consumer direct market in the Middle East, India, and subcontinent, as well Africa. Next slide. Here we are talking about the capacity of the Jebel Ali Airport, which has been ranked #1 on the Middle East and #9 globally. It has a capacity of 22.4 million TEUs. And also we have on the other side, which they are connecting, both they are on within the same area, Al Maktoum Airport, which is only dedicated at the moment on the cargo and some of the passenger flights as well. And it has 2 million TEUs of cargo per year. Next slide, please. Connectivity and aviation. Dubai, it's a place for the international airlines, which has a base here in Dubai from Dubai International Airport. More than 141 international airlines which fly direct from Dubai International Airport to the major destinations. Talking as well about the official carrier, Emirates Airline, and the sister company, Dubai Flight, which has more than 170 daily flights to the major cities in the world. In the count, we have plus 8,000 flights through the Dubai airports. We have witnessed, and the whole world has witnessed, the big events happen in Dubai in October 2021, Expo 2020, where we're aiming to reach at that time. The goal was to have 25 million visitors. 70% of those visitors was targeted to be international. We were blessed during the situation of the world and the inclusion of some countries to reach till the last day of Expo 2020 to 24.1 million visitors. Today, this month of the year, the reopening of the Expo 2020, and the name has been changed to Expo City. Expo City today, the place of a city within the city, we called it, where a company can operate there directly, a residential area as well. Other activities could be happening. Also, a convention center for biggest conferences and exhibitions taking place in Dubai. As I mentioned on the first slide about the infrastructure and how strong and the modern infrastructures taking place here in Dubai, Dubai has been ranked #1 on the MENA region for the infrastructure sector. And in 2009, Dubai has launched the longest driverless metro in the world, has in total 90 kilometers, and it serves major business districts in Dubai, a biggest shopping mall in Dubai, as well as covers some of residential area. And the plan of 2030 is to expand the line, more addition to be added, 421 kilometers. Next slide, please. Ranking of the year, Dubai achieved the top ranking globally on attracting FDI project and greenfield project. This is what the direction now of the leadership in Dubai is to reach 75% of using the green technology by the year of 2050, and has been ranked number 3 globally in attraction FDI capital inflows, as well as the second top destination on the attracting corporation headquarters. In 2014, the government of Dubai has launched the Smart City Initiative, where to drive all the transactions and the government transaction to be online. In 2021, 100% of the government entities has been fully blockchained. So there is paperless, no more paper being used on the government entities. All the transactions has been gone through the online, either applications or websites. Taking an example that if the company would like to establish a new firm in Dubai, there is no need for them to come physically, just to visit Dubai, Invest in Dubai website, where it can guide them to all the journey of establishing new companies. Next slide. Talking about the blockchain strategy in Dubai, which took place already by the year 2021, it will eliminate 100 million annual paper, which will save 1.5 billion in the document processing. And it's the world first ever government to execute all the application transactions through the blockchain. As well, Dubai will be the first blockchain powered government on the driving the economy future. The artificial intelligence, there is a dedicated ministry for the artificial intelligence. This sector is to be added 182 billion US dollar to the UAE economy by the year of 2035. And it will impact 15 sectors. Some of the major sectors as shows here on the screen: financial service sectors, healthcare, transport, as well the education sectors. Next slide. The Federal Science, Technology and Innovation Policy, 82 US billion to be added in the pool, which will open the, which will create the job by the year of, the last year, and the targeting is to increase the job creating by adding the 82 US billion. And it will impact on the sectors shows on the screen, the space, which the government already has worked very deeply on the space sectors, academic research center, aviation and R&D, as well clean energy project. Dubai is a #1, has been ranked on the global destination for the business events in 2021. As well, it's a target attracting also big conferences, international conferences and exhibitions were taking place on yearly basis. Give an example of the big exhibitions: GITEX, which is focused more into technology, as well Arab Health, Food, Gulf Food, where these are the name of the big annual events happening in Dubai. As well, there are another exhibitions in a different sectors taking place on an annual basis in Dubai. The hotel capacity, Dubai is well known of the diversity as well on the hotel capacity and the hotel classification. the perceptions of people that Dubai has a very luxurious place. Yes, we do have a very luxurious hotels, which is starting from it's ending to 7-star hotels, but we do have the economic or budgeted hotel, which is starting from 1-star hotel to 7-star hotel. So that's also, it's attracting lots of the hospitality investors to come into the city. Next slide, please. Retail, of course, Dubai is well known as a shopping paradise for all the visitors. It's been increased on annual basis 8% to the GDP of the total contributions. It's the top 20 destinations among the world. As well, it's accommodation for 62% of the worldwide brands, which has a base in Dubai. Thus it is from my side. I would like to conclude my presentation on this slide, and there is more to talk about Dubai, and I'll be happy to answer any type of questions regarding establishing a company, regarding other sectors, while we are here on this webinar. Thank you very much, Ellison and Emma, and as well my colleague here in Dubai, Luma, for giving me these opportunities. And I would leave the screen to Luma to take you more deeply on the creative and culture in Dubai. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Walid. And first of all, thank you, Emma and Alison, for the wonderful introduction. Thank you, Walid, for taking everyone through the story of Dubai. Now that you've seen the big picture, I'd like to give you kind of a dipstick view into the creative sector and why that matters, and why that matters to you as a creative representative. So before I start my story, maybe the best starting point is Dubai's creative strategy. That's actually a revamped strategy that we have launched right at the heart of the pandemic. We have launched it in April 2020. We've got the approval online from His Highness Sheikh Hamdan. It was a very new experience to us, but it has shown us that no matter what, we move forward and we find ways around the challenges that we face. And His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum himself announced the vision, the creative vision of Dubai, for Dubai to be a global center for culture, a thriving hub for talent, and an incubator for creativity. We've taken that vision as an inspiration to put together a whole 6-year strategy of 2020-2026 that focuses on, as you can see here, 5 key sectoral priorities. So we care a lot as an authority about talent and education. We look at means of fostering an ecosystem for young talent to thrive within and outside the education system. Also, we look at attracting and retaining diverse global talent, and that's why we're talking to you. We have worked hard not only to attract talent, but also to retain them within Dubai, because this is the foundation of any creative sector. If you do not have talent, of course, the entire ecosystem collapses. Alhamdulillah, we've been blessed due to the attractiveness of the city. That number has been increasing, and I'll show you some facts and figures in a minute. We've also launched in 2019 the cultural visa, and it's the first and only visa of its kind, which is long-term. It's a 10-year visa, which gives kind of the creative mindset, and they can relax and settle and focus on their business rather than focusing on renewals and all that. So and that number is growing year on year. The second point, or the second pillar, is accessibility and engagement. We look at integrating arts and creativity into the city's urban spaces. And last year we have actually launched a public art strategy, and we're eager to make that happen, because as you know, art is the personality of the city, and the first thing that catches your attention when you visit any city is the art expressions in that city. Imagine a city without art. it will be dull, it will be gray, you will never go back to the city again. So we wanted to put kind of a structure to that thought process and encourage it more and more in ways where we can tackle some of the challenges that the creative sector is facing, as well as leveraging on some of the opportunities that we have here in Dubai. The creative economy, as you can see here, is one of 5 pillars. It started as a pillar, but last year we have launched a fully fledged strategy because after the pandemic, the government saw the creative sector as a promising growing sector, and it deserved to have a fully fledged strategy to look at how the sector is growing, how we can even make it stronger. And I'll take you through some more insights in a minute. And also we look at the global footprint, and we look at it into 2 kind of lenses. The first one is to boost Dubai status as a cultural destination. So you heard my colleague Walid, and he was talking, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind when we say Dubai, you would think what? Probably the shopping experience, the glitz and glam, the high-rise buildings, but you don't necessarily think of the cultural essence of the city, and that's something we are really working hard to change. And alhamdulillah, we're monitoring year on year what the top of mind awareness about Dubai, whether it's from within the city or outside the city, and we're doing well in terms of creating that strong perception. The other fold is to try and export Dubai's homegrown cultural offering, be it creative products, services. How can we create markets to interested in those products? And this is maybe one way we're promoting this is taking part of global missions, and this is why we have visited Edinburgh, Dundee, as well as Scotland, and Edinburgh and Dundee. We visited you last July, I believe, if I remember correctly, and we'd like to continue this dialogue. And that's a role that we play, not only to talk to the creative sector, but also to create markets for the creative goods coming from Dubai. Last but not least, and with the, I mean, it's very obvious that the name also carries the responsibility of the preservation, the celebration of our tangible and non-tangible heritage. And you may as well know that Dubai Culture also operates a number of museums, and it's a growing number. We also operate a number of public libraries as well as heritage sites. So we are kind of the custodians of the cultural heritage of Dubai. So that's in summary the strategy, the creative strategy. And the first thing that comes to mind, so what is the creative sector? We define the creative sector and matched that definition to the UNESCO definition, which defines the sector into 6 actually sectors. The cultural natural heritage, performing arts and celebration, visual arts and crafts, books and press, audiovisual and interactive media, and then last but not least, the design and creative services. Those 6 sectors are the driving force behind the creative economy, and also there are 27 subsectors stemming from it. And what we've observed when we started looking at the numbers is that design and creative services is where the strength is. This is where Dubai's strength is, followed by audiovisual and interactive media. These are our very promising, and these 2 sectors are not only contributing greatly to the production and GDP, but they're growing year on year. And then the things that we're looking at is to keep them growing in the right direction, and also look at other sectors, how we can improve the performance of those sectors. We've also looked at when we started to design the strategy of creative economy, the first obvious question we have to tell to the government is, why is the creative sector important? And as you know, as creatives today, the creative sector promotes the culture of entrepreneurship. The numbers I will show you in a minute will tell you, and that's not only exclusive to Dubai, this is across the world. The creative sector are entrepreneurial in nature. The creative does not want to work with a big entity. They would like to start their own small entities. And that's the nature of the creative sector. Secondly, it promotes tourism. And as I mentioned to you, the way creatives express themselves is something which creates an appetite, a tourism appetite for the city. The more the creative city is, the more tourism you will find, streaming into the city. And also, we found that the job durability is unaffected by automation. You cannot automate creativity. You cannot replace, unlike other sectors like the finance, like I don't know, telecommunications. You can replace a human with a robot. You cannot do that in the creative sector. While we were observing some sectors, the workforce is going down gradually because automation comes on board, digital transformation comes on board. The creative sector workforce goes up, and I'll show you the numbers in a minute. Also, the productivity of this sector impacts positively other sectors. If the creative sector is doing well, the telecommunication sector is doing well because of the upload and download of content. The movie industry, of course, impact people like Netflix. They are happy. Real estate becomes more valuable because there are creative expressions. So the more healthy the sector is, the healthy other sectors are, like tourism, etc. And last but not least, it increases the city's attractiveness for talent. The more talent you have in a city, the more talent is attracting to the same city. And it's just a word of mouth. Creatives like to be together in one place. So in terms of performance, we looked at certain parameters. The first parameter, and you will notice that we started tracking from 2018, 19, 20, and then we've received an updated number for 2020. And then also we have preliminary numbers for 2021, which are still under review. So one thing you will notice is that the pandemic did not significantly impact the sector. Actually, the growth has been going steadily year on year in spite of the pandemic, and that tells you something. From our knowledge, of course, we work hand in hand with Dubai Statistics Center, and they told us this sector has not been as badly impacted as other sectors, like, around the world. But I mean, as you can imagine, people resorted to books, people resorted during the pandemic to music, to movies. The sector came out, people expressed themselves in creativity and consumed also creative products during the pandemic. When you look at the institutions, again, the number has been increasing, and we've noticed during COVID, there were more companies established. The number did not go down or did not plateau. Actually, it continues to grow. And when you think about it, some of the sectors I've shown you a minute ago live and thrive in the digital space, and businesses in the digital space actually boomed during COVID. And you can see even the investment appetite in those spaces really went high even during the pandemic. So that's a really positive sign. One thing I want to show you here, when I was telling you the nature of the creative sector is entrepreneurial. This number will show you, if you look at the 3 years from 2018 to 2020, the vast majority of the companies in the creative sector are micro to small companies, and these comprise around 97% of the creative sector. And that's very normal. When I was reading other reports of other cities, this is the case. So our role as a government here is to look at the journey of a creative from startup to scale to sustainability. So to start up a business, we need to make sure this happens quickly, efficiently, and with the lowest cost possible. To sustain your business, this is where we're looking at creating markets, opening dialogues with other cities, etc. For you to sustain your business, or grow your business, for you to sustain your business, here you look at how do you enable the businesses to have some sort of R&D, to look at trends and make sure their businesses are resilient to the future. So we play this role in every intersection of the lifespan of a creative in Dubai. And then also I would like to show you the performance in terms of workforce. Look at the numbers. I mean, during the pandemic, the number kept growing, and the preliminary number, we just started last month a deep dive survey with the Dubai Statistics Center, where we're actually knocking doors to make sure we have accurate numbers that will give us some further insights. Not only in terms of workforce, this is all full-time, by the way. We're looking now at part-time jobs and freelance jobs, because as you know, the creative sector freelance, plays a major role in that, especially when you look at avenues like the movie industry, like the gaming industry, like the design industry. Most of those are like a big number. We don't have a number for now. The survey will tell us the number, but we'd like to see how this is going. Also, we'll get some insights into the gender split, how much female to male are working in the creative sector, because other cities, what we've observed is that there are more females than males in the creative sector of internationally. Actually, in developing countries, there are much more females than males. It reaches 60% female rate because of the luxury of working from home in certain fields. So we'd like to see the picture here in Dubai. Inshallah, by mid next year, we'll have the results and we'll publish them. So keep an eye on the news. The other point that I would like to showcase also is the percentage that the creative sector presents within the overall workforce, and it's around, let's say, 4% over the last 2 years. And that's with regards to the performance. We also worked with our colleagues, Dubai FDI, and a few months ago we published the first of its kind report specific to the creative sector, just to look at the investment appetite around the world. So what you see in front of you is two things: the average number of 5 years from 2017 to 2021, and also 2021 specifically. So you will notice we looked at the global ranking, and we're 8th in the last 5 years, and the 9th in 2021. We looked also at the global ranking in terms of FDI projects, and we're 2nd worldwide in 2021. In terms of jobs, we are rated 4th in 2021, and you will notice that the UK sits within the the top 3 countries as source countries for both capital investment as well as the number of FDI projects, which is very promising. And of course, as you well know, because of the tax exemption between the 2 countries, that encourages even more. We found that the vast majority of investment is in greenfield, meaning that the head office is sitting in the UK, but there's a representation of that office in Dubai. And that's something we'd like to encourage. And by the way, feel free to raise any questions during the session. Walid and I will try to answer them for you as well, if this information is creating any questions from your end. So why Dubai? Of course, Walid talked about why Dubai, and I'm going to talk about it from a creative perspective. So first of all, Dubai has over 20 free zones. It's a small city, but there are so many free zones specific to the type of creative. So we have the Dubai Studio City, Dubai Design District, where our offices are. We have Dubai Media City, we have Dubai Production City, so on and so forth. Not only that, but as Dubai Culture, we've created also special packages with some of those free zones. So for example, Dubai Commerce City, we've created products just for the creative sector to make use of if they decide to establish their businesses in Dubai Commerce City. And that includes a banking service, marketing services, full establishment of a website, kind of consultations free of charge. They can use the logistics system, pre-negotiated rates for flying or kind of shipping their goods, etc. There's also a big project, you may have heard of it if you are keeping track of what's going on in Dubai, and that project was also announced by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, ruler of Dubai, which is Al Goz Creative Zone. Al Goz is an industrial area based at the heart of Dubai, and what we'd like to do is to convert part of this area into a creative zone. So again, we're giving a lot of benefits for you to, as a creative, to establish your business in this very central area where you can find everything around you. So you can create, you can do the production, and the kind of logistics in and out of this area is just phenomenal. It has everything in one place. Plus, we have a big number of educational institutions, and I know with us is Leite Jaburi from Abertai University. We're trying to create a bridge also with Abertai. it's the first and the strongest in terms of graduating talent in the gaming industry, and that's something which is evolving here in Dubai. And still people are seeing gaming, for example, as an entertainment tool, but not necessarily. It's now a solution for so many industries. And of course, you're leaders in that domain. So we'd like to have more specialized education, whether it's short-term or long-term for the creative sector, whether you're a student or even a business. Because what we realized is that the creatives are really good in what they do, but they need training in other aspects, like the taxation system, for example. Like they don't know how to market themselves, or simply creating a website. How does things work here in Dubai with a country of 200 nationalities? How do I speak? So we provide also consultation in that sense. Why Dubai? Because of the city's attractiveness. I've chosen 4 examples here. We've just recently, I don't know if you're in the museum area, you would recognize the ICOM logo. Dubai has won the bid to host the 2025 ICOM conference, and we're so happy because that's the first time it landed into the Middle East. We're the first city to host it. And here you can see our Director General, the team, receiving the flag from the previous city in Prague. Also, Dubai ranks 5th in the Global Power City Index. This index is issued by Mori Memorial Foundation in Japan. And we've been monitoring this competitiveness kind of tool. We were 6th in 2020. We moved up to 5th, and 5th after what? 5th after London, Paris, New York, and Tokyo. Dubai comes next. I mean, we're competing against cities that have been doing really phenomenally well for decades. You know, that's something we're super proud of. What helped us in this ranking also, like Walid mentioned, is that we've opened up before so many other cities. So there were more activities, more conferences, of course, Expo that started in October last year and ended this year. That all contributed to, moving us up into this high ranking. Also, remember when I was telling you that design was the strongest sector? Actually, we're a creative city of design, like Dundee. I think Dundee is also a creative city of design. So we're kind of peers under the UNESCO umbrella. We won that title, and we were the first Middle Eastern city to win this title back in 2017. And we've just received a confirmation from the UNESCO that we're renewing the title for another 4 years. And we're super happy about that. Last but not least, we're members of the World Cities Culture Forum, which is, a file under the London Mayor's office. And then we've been really contributors to that file. So the third reason why Dubai is the incentives we've been putting together to the creative sector, and I've chosen 4 of those. Walid mentioned how easy it is to issue a trade license. So whether it's a free zone or a mainland trade license, it's really simple and super easy to issue license. I was an entrepreneur a few years ago. I wanted to try this avenue. And when I applied for my license, it took me 15 minutes to issue a license. And the reason why it took me 15 minutes, because I was disputing with the gentleman, what is the meaning of my name? So that dispute took like 10 minutes and then 5 minutes to actually issue the trade license. If you decide to issue a trade license, which is a mainland trade license, we also work with the Smart Dubai. There's a section for the creative economy under Invest in Dubai, so you can do this even electronically, no need for you to go anywhere. Also, we have a robust infrastructure. Dubai is a smart city, and smart cities attract talent automatically, especially talent living and thriving in the digital space. I mentioned to you the cultural residency or the cultural visa before. Last but not least, we work with the Commercial Bank of Dubai, and we created a product just for the creative sector because we realized how much it is important for them to save or not spend as much as possible or minimize fees as much as possible. So we created this product for them to avail. I mean, the scope within Dubai is really big. This is just a mini map of the cultural hubs and expressions here in Dubai. We have a whole year-long agenda, active agenda. You know, whether it's the publishing sector, whether it's art, I mean, this is one of our events you can see on the top left. It's a Marmoom film in the desert. Imagine an experience in the middle of the beautiful desert in Dubai, like a camp experience where we showcase emerging filmmakers from the region, and you can engage in dialogues and discussions, and you know, it's a platform for us to showcase the talent that we have and engage with the right communities and give them a space for expression. The bottom left is one of our mega events that we've been holding for the last 10 years. It's called Sikka. And what's beautiful about Sikka in Arabic is the small pathway. So in the old heritage sites of Dubai, you see houses like really close to each other, and there's a small path that you pass by. This is called Sikka. What's beautiful about Sikka is that it takes place in a heritage site, and it's actually in a Sikka. So you see modern art in a very historic location, and that's what's unique about it. I mean, Dubai, what's beautiful about it is that it's not a marmalade of nationalities. It's a beautiful bowl of fruit salad. Each nationality is very unique, is very vivid, and it contributes positively to the story of Dubai. I mean, I've just mentioned a few examples here, but really, these are the people who are enriching the cultural experience in Dubai. And I think enough said, I don't want to talk anymore. And based on requests from your end, Lisa, who is the Deputy Director of Tashkil, has been kind enough to record a short video that will kind of, from the creative perspective, give you a better perspective and an image about Dubai. And also Lisa is with us here, so feel free after the session to ask any question to any of us. She'll be more than happy to answer that. Okay, so let me try to put up the video. Okay, so Alison and Emma, show me a hand if you see a black screen in front of you. Okay, cool. Let me see if the audio is on, and then I will. Yeah, audio is on. And here's Lisa.
Dubai is a great incubator for the creative and cultural industries, and has been so for decades. At the intersection of Asia, Africa, Europe, and the Middle East, there's 200 nationalities that are living and working side by side here. That's an awful lot of knowledge and skills in one place. And here we have an enabling public sector with the right infrastructure to allow us to grow and thrive. Alongside that, we have pioneering individuals driving independent organisations so that the creativity is continuing to bear fruit here. This is a great ecosystem to be part of. Tashkil has been nurturing artists and designers living and working in the UAE for the last 15 years. We provide fully funded professional development programs, exhibitions, training programs, and of course our residency program, which back in 2019 we collaborated with Dundee Contemporary Arts. Emirati artist Salama Nasib spent 6 weeks in your wonderful city, and Sarah Burt, Dundee printmaker, came to Tashkil and spent 4 months creating new work. I spent over 10 years of my life living and working in Scotland. I'm a graduate of the University of Glasgow, and I worked in Edinburgh. Having lived in several countries across the Middle East and North Africa, I found myself in Dubai, and I've been here for 18 years now. There's a reason why I choose to stay here. This is a trading hub, and the flow of knowledge, people, skills, and cultures that flow through this emirate is enriching, particularly for those who are living and working in the creative and cultural industries. So if you have the ambition to set up a business here, and you have the passion, the determination, and the understanding to work with people of many different cultures with many different skills, this is a great place to live, work, and play.
So thank you, Lisa, and I'm more than happy with my colleague Walid to answer any questions. That brings us to the end of our speaking session. Feel free to use either the chat tool or the Q&A tool, or maybe raise a hand. I think you can speak. You can also.
Luma, could I ask a question? Could you maybe talk a little bit about the competition that our conglomerate games took part in, and the types of opportunity like that might come up?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, okay, where do I start? We've noticed, remember I told you we have a number of museums that we operate. So what we've noticed is the visitation to the museum. So visits to the museum are either by kids as part of the school trip, or people like our age who are really curious and interested to know more about a specific theme. The youth is the minimal number of footfall in our museum, and that raised the question, why is the case? At the same time, we've been monitoring, one of our KPIs is the cultural interaction KPI, and we do this every year. So we looked at the analytics that says, we looked at this particular segment when we asked them the question, what areas are interested in culture? They pinpointed the top highest area is heritage and national heritage. So the youth is interested in heritage, however, they're not interested in the current museum experience. And that was a challenge for us. So we created this competition, and we used our partner, GITEX. GITEX Technology Week, or GITEX Global as they call it at the moment, is the biggest event in the region. And they also attract, the section that we're in had 1,000 entrepreneurs specialized in the technology side of things. So we've launched this international competition, putting forward an opportunity to come up with creative solutions using modern technology to not only preserve, but also celebrate our tangible and non-tangible heritage. And we received 50 entries. We did kind of a rating system, and we chose the top 10, one of which was a young man from Dundee. Mashallah, he has a beautiful solution. What he did is that he reimagined a heritage site in Scotland, which no longer exists. So based on his research, you can go to the site, you can go into the house and see how the household is living. And he's created that in 2 months. Look at the potential. For me, this is phenomenal. And that's why he won as one of the 10 entries to come and present his case, and also engage with investors, engage with the industry, and also visitors, which gave him an opportunity to, what else can he do with his idea? And hopefully, inshallah, we'll be able to demo this, and probably maybe we can work with him in the future. But that was a really, we benefited more than he benefited, to be honest. Getting visibility on the capability of this young man who is only 25 years old. Do we have any other questions? I'm more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything specific yet in the chat, but if anybody does want to kind of drop anything in, then we can pick those up. Luma, I guess one of the questions I also had, well, I've got two, so I'm just going to, so one of them is, so you're right, Dundee is a UNESCO City of Design, and our UNESCO team, does a lot of collaborating with the network of cities, but also works within the city to kind of pull creatives together. And I'm just wondering what if you at this stage you have something you could kind of share, you maybe don't, but what is your UNESCO designation going to do? What kind of impact do you see that it might have in the city? And I guess the next question is, how do we then encourage our creative communities to collaborate together? What are the types of things we maybe can get people to work on?
I really like this question, Alison. So let me explain to you how this file works. So there are so many stakeholders contributing to this file. The entity which is leading on this file and discussion, having the discussion directly with the UNESCO is Dubai municipality. We come as a partner, as well as so many other entities, educational entities, government entities, and a few members from the private sector. Each one of us have literally a list of projects, initiatives. We have certain deliverables to maintain that title. Do we need to do this alone? Of course not. We would like to encourage opportunities between the two cities, not only from sharing best practices and, I don't know for how long have you been a creative city of design? How many seasons?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think since 2017, but I might be wrong.
So we're the same. This is our second cycle. So it will be really interesting to look at from a sector perspective, how can we, both of us, enable the sector in a better way? So I would love to have kind of at least one priority that we can pinpoint together, engage representation from this sector from both cities, and come up kind of on an agenda point that we can execute it over the next cycle, starting from this second cycle. That's a different discussion. Maybe we can pick up after this meeting, but I'm more than happy to lead that dialogue and also engage the internal team that are managing this file with the Dubai municipality and the UNESCO.
So Luma, sort of on a similar vein, so Lindsay Methvin has popped a question in the Q&A to say, thank you for such an interesting session. I'm a mindfulness and meditation consultant. I specialise in workplace mindfulness. I run 1 hour to 4-week courses, and I also connect mindfulness to marketing to strengthen business brands. I would like to connect with businesses in Dubai. What's the best way to do this?
Oh, wow.
I think
what do you think, Walid?
Yeah, I think this is out of what we are talking about it today, but we are willing to help any type of business. That's why I'm participating on this webinar today. So yes, we've noticed actually the meditation centers have been booming in Dubai, and the mindfulness centers as well. And what I can advise Lindsay, that I can type here my email on the chat box, and she can contact with me directly, so we can take it over from there.
That would be great, Walid. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'll.
Sorry, I was just going to say that so we have a connection with the British Business Group in Dubai. So part of the British Chamber of Commerce network, they're not a chamber of commerce, but they're a very similar type of organisation. So again, we can make sure to pass on contact details to Katie and the other people there. There are a lot of, I would say, the UK kind of representatives or some of the UK companies that are part of that network there. So lots of different ways I think we can kind of make that connection. Sorry, Emma.
I mean, it's a hot topic at the moment. You open the radio, you find programs about this in TV and all channels. I mean, this is a hot discussion, especially now after COVID. The implication of the pandemic has definitely impacted workforce mindfulness. It's a really hot topic. It's just for me. Maybe we need to think about this. Feel free to connect after this session, and let's see what are the best ways. But that's definitely a topic that not only in Dubai but all around the world, it's been on the top of the priorities at the moment. So we have another. I had an idea to create a storytelling animation to talk about the parallels of cities Dundee and Dubai. or the heritage of each city. Would this be? Yes. Again, I will put my email address. Mheri, I think, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but I'm going to put my email address. Feel free to reach out and let's pick up this dialogue.
The other thing just to mention is that Laith Al-Jabouri has his hand up. I don't know if you can unmute so that he can ask his question.
Okay, let me see if I can do that. 1 second. Please, Leif, you can speak.
Yes. Well, thank you, Alison and Emma, for running the webinar, and a very big thank you for Walid and Luma for their great presentation. I just want to say that I'm a senior lecturer with Abertay University, and I had the privilege of having the e-meeting with Luma probably a few weeks ago. We discussed lots of good ideas. And I worked in the internet city in Dubai for probably 15 years ago, something like this, with Siemens Telecommunication. But I'm doing different things now, which is I talked to Luma about it. So for the creative industry, we have a couple of a project which is we're already working on it. Which is one is the virtual production with the 5G. And the other one is the cloud computing with the 5G. Our university is well known, as you said, Luma, for games, VR, AR, and actually I'm having a scholarship from the university for mixed reality, metaverse, 5G project. So how we can work together, I believe we have lots of talent staff who could help the creative industry either on the education level or the industry level, or even on a collaboration on different projects. So how we can take this further and enhance this collaboration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leif. I see so many opportunities with both of us joining hands. I think we have a meeting scheduled also with one of your, is it called In-Game, the entity? I think it's the kind of the funding platform of all those brilliant ideas that come out of Abertay University.
Sean Taylor, probably.
Now?
Is it Sean Taylor, probably, from In-Game?
Yeah. Greg from your entity has just connected us, and I think we're meeting, inshallah, next week. So that's one avenue we can look at. The other avenue, as I mentioned to you during our meeting, Leif, is that I would like to create an entry point for you. First of all, what we can do is to create a seminar for the government sector, and we have a platform. I would like to engage with that, and we can pick together a topic and theme which is relevant to the government sector. So all government entities of Dubai can attend and look at some of the solutions that are evolving, and you can share the kind of case studies and best practices. And also there are opportunities for the creative sector itself. So what can we do for the entrepreneurs at the moment to help them boost their, I don't want to call it education, but what kind of educational material can help the current private sector in Dubai? I want them to be aware that you are there and aware of your capabilities. The third dimension here is the actual students. Can we do something with high school students to introduce them to, or maybe we can create short-term kind of programs that they can be part of, just to see the appetite. And then we talked about a possibility for a long-term engagement, but that's not something that we can work on. I mean, we have to engage with the relative parties here, be it the Ministry of Education or the educational party that is involved. We're open to all directions, but I would rather we start with a quick win, and then we build on that. So that's definitely a direction we can pick up, inshallah, after this session.
Thank you very much.
Luma, sorry, I've just popped a message in the chat. It seems to be switched off to the attendees. It seems that only we can see it, the four of us. Is it possible, just because, I know both yourself and Walid have put your email addresses in, but I don't think anyone else can see them.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can do that.
So just in the meantime, if anybody's got a question, if you want to stick it
There's
in the Q&A, or pop,
yes.
yeah, or pop your hand up as the other option.
Okay, I think now it's open if you want to use the chat tool. Alternatively, you can use the Q&A. So any other questions, thoughts? Lisa is here. I think Lisa has just...
Yeah, she did. She's put a note into it. I knew that the exchange had happened because Beth Bate runs DCA here, Dundee Contemporary Arts, and she talked about that exchange. It sounds amazing. I guess I would have a question. I don't know exactly how that came about, that exchange, but is there any plans for any more? I don't know if Lisa can come in.
I think Lisa, let me just I'll allow Lisa to actually talk. She's better than me. Second, Lisa, can you talk?
Yes, I can, if you can hear me. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, the British Council in Scotland actually facilitated Beth to visit the Gulf. I think back in 2018, she visited several countries in the Arabian Gulf, and she got to us in Tashkil, and we grabbed her and we started cooking up. I think it took us about 2 or 3 weeks to cook up this residency. And over the course of 2019, we sent an Emirati artist there for 6 weeks. And then at the end of the year, the Dundee printmaker came to us for 4 months. And that was funded between Dundee and Tashkil, courtesy of the British Council.
Thank you, Lisa. If you have any questions for Lisa, the microphone is with her, by the way. Feel free to maybe get her perspective of things.
Luma, Lisa and Walid, can I ask a question about COP28? How do you see the creative community being involved in COP28? Is there going to be something, what are your agencies working on, if anything, yet?
Do you want to elaborate a little bit? I'm not familiar with what you're referring to.
The COP, Alison, it's of course it's happening here in Dubai, definitely, but this is more related, as you know, it's for the environmental and the climate changes, etc. So I'm sorry to say that maybe we are not the right candidate to answer exactly these questions, and since there are a specific team has been or managing the entire conferences, but we are more than happy to get as much as information you guys required from our side.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, Walid, as you say, Luma, so the climate change conference, for want of a better phrase, that happened in Glasgow last year and is just about to happen in Egypt. It's been quite interesting, actually, because the Al Maktoum College of Further Education in Dundee has actually been working with academics in Egypt to help, with some of the learnings from academics in Scotland that. Because the COP27 will obviously be, focusing, I think, on Africa and some of the significant challenges that there still are in that part of the world. But yeah, and it's perhaps yet too early for what's going to happen in Dubai and the COP28 to kind of filter its way out. I think certainly it felt a bit like that in Scotland last year, that the event was happening in the November and, there wasn't a lot of information about it very far in advance. But yeah, I know it's definitely something that we're looking at as a business community in Scotland, how to kind of bring our businesses over or be connected with COP and what's going to happen. But I think we probably won't know as much until it's happened this year yet. But no, that's fab. And I see Lisa's got her hand up.
Yeah, go ahead, Lisa.
If I can add, we are hoping, we're currently cooking up a project at the moment that could be part of COP28. I know that sustainable design, sustainable product design is a significant line of creativity here in Dubai, and similarly shared in Scotland. We have benefited from research that professors have done at Edinburgh College of Art, for example, on biosand and biopolymer materials using desert sand, which we have built on, and have launched our own biopolymer here in Dubai. So I think that there's great opportunities for design and sustainable design next year. Check out also Dubai Design Week. This is happening every November. We're just gearing up for that now, and there's always a strong sustainable design thread running through that. So very much encourage the makers, the design makers of Scotland to get involved.
Thank you, Lisa. And by the way, if there's any question that Walid and I or Lisa don't have an answer for, feel free to share it after the session. We'll get the answers from the relative teams, whether within our entities or other entities.
There doesn't seem to be any more questions for now.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Emma and Alison, again for the continuous collaboration with us and support. Thank you, Luma, for involving me. And yeah, I'm looking forward for any other collaboration on the coming next year. Maybe we could come again for another successful mission.
Yes, likewise, honestly, I enjoyed that session. I really enjoyed my visit to Edinburgh, specifically Dundee. I'm very emotionally attached to this part of the world. It's been a pleasure to be with you electronically, maybe soon physically, inshallah, but I've really enjoyed this session with you. So thank you, Emma and Alison.
And thank you from me to you both, Walid and Luma, to take the time to come on with us, and to Emma and our international team for all their hard work in getting our webinar organised today. Thanks so much to everybody that's attended, and I really look forward to us continuing this conversation. So as everybody said, if you've got any questions at all, then you've got some contact details, but if you've got anything you wanted to ask, or we can do any more connecting, then please get in touch with the team at the international team here at Dundee Angus Chamber. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.